All right, so with that fucking whole camera shit at the end of, I'm making this just a part two. Like, I'm not fucking editing this shit together. Like, I'm not. Like, I have editing software, like really good editing software, that I never use because it fucking takes like fucking 4 or 5 hours to like process it and everything, especially with the length of the videos I do. So, fuck you. Fucking, you should be used to this by now. The production value on this channel. It's just going to be Kill Baby Kill Part 1 discussion, Kill Baby Kill Part 2 discussion with an interruption by the ghost of Melissa Graps. And fuck you, that's what happened, and that's what we're doing. And there's no fucking way that I'm re-recording the 20-something minutes that I just did at 4 in the morning. Fuck you. And yeah, so the cat jump scare, that doesn't exist. Awesome. Then just the first shot of Melissa. And see, it was her fucking ghost, because as soon as I mentioned Melissa's ghost, the first shot of her and shit is when she started fucking with my camera. Honestly, though, like, I don't know why. I never have my, like, laptop plugged in when I record, but the battery was, like, kind of low because I was watching this on the laptop, and I had it plugged in. And for some reason, it's happened maybe, like, 3 times since I started this channel. When it's plugged in charging, for some reason, after, like, 15, 20 minutes, the camera will, like, freeze. I don't get it. I don't know what it is. Like I said, fuck it. Fuck all of you. I'm not fucking re-recording it. So it's out of the fucking question. Like, it's just not happening. So then we find Ruth, the sorceress, ends up coming to Nadine, the daughter of the locals, who was marked for death by Melissa, and just does like this weird fucking sorcery, and like it doesn't even seem like sorcery. Like, she has potions and shit, but she has like she just takes like this like handful of herbs and just starts whacking her on the fucking back with it. Like, I don't know what that's supposed to do to save her like from being killed, because it doesn't. But like, she has her mom pull her dress down and stuff, like, and you don't see anything. It's the fucking 60s, obviously, but you just see her bare back and she starts whipping her with this. And Paul questions her about this, about everything that he sees her doing. That to him, he's a fucking doctor, and this is like witchcraft to him. This is like unheard of. This is shit that should not be going on here. That this is no way to be saving this girl's life, which he doesn't obviously believe in any of this Melissa curse and ghost shit anyway at the beginning. And Paul questions her about the coin in Irina's heart during the autopsy that they find. And she ends up basically admitting, without saying it, that she's the one that put it there, and puts them in pretty much everybody who's died in the past from the curse of Melissa Graps. And there's another dead person who shows up, who they don't really show at all like who it is. It's just like a dead body turns up, and it's already covered, so we don't know who it is. But someone else was cursed by Melissa and killed. And Ruth tells Carl, and I'm gonna fuck this word up, Burgermeister. Burgermeister. The subtitles say fucking Burgermaster, but the way they pronounce it is Burgermeister. He's a fucking guy who works there. That's what he is. And Ruth ends up telling Carl to bury this new body and stuff before Paul, the doctor and stuff, sees that someone else had died, and he's going to want to do an autopsy and everything, and disturb the whole superstition, and maybe possibly have this person who just died come back as a ghost, just like Melissa, to terrorize this village. And then Paul heads to the Villa Graps to look for Inspector Kruger, who left a note saying that he was going there. And we meet the Baroness Graps, and no Kruger. He never got there. And then we see Melissa, and Paul sees Melissa for the first time, and even asks her name. And she says Melissa. And he's been hearing about this ghost like for the last 20 minutes or so. And this is when he kind of starts to like think that something is out of the ordinary, but he's still pretty much hell-bent on this is all superstitious nonsense. This is all just ghost stories, and none of this is true. That there has to be a scientific explanation for this. And just that too, just the whole his character of focusing and just looking at everything from a strictly scientific and medical basis versus the superstitiousness of the whole village and the supernatural elements and stuff is excellently portrayed here too. Like everything is just so great about this fucking movie. I adore this movie. And then the shots of the spiral staircase are so good. Like there's just the winding spiral staircase that goes all the way down in the villa, and later near the end of the movie, there's just some fucking phenomenal shots with that staircase. Like I'll get to that. It actually won't be as long as I thought it would be, but then Monica wakes up, and there's a doll at the foot of her bed that freaks her the fuck out. And it's a creepy ass looking doll too. And then the windows just blow open, and then the doll disappears, and she freaks the fuck out, and she ends up going to Paul, and they get her a room at the little inn that Paul's staying in, and she ends up staying there so she feels more comfortable. And then we hear this bell. The village has like this bell that's rung every time that Melissa has marked somebody for death. And it used to be used for like, if there was an injury in the village or something like that and they needed medical attention, then they would ring this bell. Or if there was a threat to the village. And ever since Melissa died and cursed this town, every time that bell rings on its own means that somebody's marked for death by Melissa's ghost. So we know that it's Nadine, the daughter of the local there, that Ruth was trying to save. Then we find out that Melissa was 7 years old, and she died in a drunken festival when she was playing with her ball, and her ball went bouncing into like a whole bunch of horses that were coming by, and she ended up getting trampled to death, almost to death, by a bunch of horses, and she was bleeding to death, and she ended up running to the bell while she was like bleeding out and ringing the bell, and nobody came and saved her. So it's a fucking brutal death, man, for a 7-year-old. Like, I got an 8-year-old daughter. Fucking, I can't imagine that. Like, just being stampeded by horses, by a bunch of drunk motherfuckers. I would want everyone in this town cursed and killed too. Are you serious? Like, absolutely. And then Paul finds Nadine feverish in bed and just completely sweating and everything, and he ends up taking the covers off of her, and I forget what he refers to it as, but it's pretty much like barbed wire that's wrapped around like her chest area, right below like her tits and stuff. And the parents put it there. And again, he just looks at this like, this is fucking insane. Like, this is fucking, you're trying to kill your daughter. Like, she can bleed out with this thing, and he ends up taking it off and wiping the blood off and treating her wounds. But just shows how just the superstition and how scared all these villagers are of the ghost of Melissa and the possibility of anyone dying from being cursed by her and killed by her could possibly come back too as a ghost and do the same exact shit, which led to them using the silver coins as talismans and putting them in the victims' hearts so that they wouldn't come back. Just awesome stuff. Then Ruth has the new dead person buried without anybody finding out, so she was able to at least get that done so that an autopsy couldn't be performed and we didn't have another ghost show up. Then Paul finds Kruger, the inspector, shot dead, and he ends up going... Oh, then this is awesome. And we get the shot of Melissa's hand on Nadine's window. And just like I said, I keep saying, just that. Just the shot of her hand on a window. Then it's panning shot, like really fast. Awesome. Like, it's so good. It's so effective. It's so creepy. And it's just a fucking hand on the window. But because of the atmosphere that is just dripping through this entire movie, soaked in atmosphere, and the feel and tone of this movie, and the sets, and the lighting, and everything, just a hand on a window, that's all you need. Like, it's scary as shit. Like, it really is. Like, watching this movie sometimes, and then actually finishing it like a little bit ago, I was fucking sitting there, every time I see like the shots of Melissa at the window, I would like kind of look at my window and be like, yo, if I see that bitch there, like she's getting knocked the fuck out. Like no questions asked. Like I can knock out first, ask questions later. I can find, oh shit, it was just some innocent kid who was like peeping through the window. Fucking my bad, I didn't mean that. I can joke a little bit with this movie, but like absolutely, like it really like hits you. Like it really is so well done. It's so effective of how he directed and shot all of this. Like and everything with Melissa. Like I keep saying, I don't want to keep repeating myself. And after she puts her hand on the window, then her face peers into, and then she ends up with just this little creepy smile. And it's not even like creepy like if it was in any other context. But just being in the context of this scene and in this movie, it's creepy as shit. And then Nadine ends up, I guess she's controlling her and stuff, and Nadine ends up impaling herself, and I don't even know what the fuck that is. It's kind of like a big like candlestick, but then it has like a sharp part like coming out of it, and she like turns it and she stabs herself through the chest with it, and so she's dead. And then they go to meet Carl, Paul and Monica, the burgermaster, whatever the fuck you want to call him. And that's when he reveals that 10 people have died and stuff since Melissa did, and the whole curse with her and stuff. And Monica is in town, back in this village to visit her parents' graves. That she actually was born in this village and left to go pursue her career in medicine and stuff, and comes back every now and then to visit her parents' grave. And he ends up telling her that her parents weren't really her parents. That he has sealed documents from her fake parents that reveals all that information for if when she came back, that he would have that information for her unsealed, the seals aren't broken on the envelopes, and he would give it to Monica and it would explain everything. And before that can happen, we get the fucking such a great jump scare, man. Like, and I don't think I've ever said, maybe more than once or twice so far on this channel, great jump scare. Those are like two words that don't fucking combine for me, like for the most part. But he goes to the safe, Carl, and he goes to open the safe. And as soon as he opens it, Melissa's in the safe holding the envelope, and it's so great. There's no loud fucking music, violins, there's nothing like that. It's just with the eerie, subtle score there is that's playing well before that. And he opens the safe and she's just there, and it pans in on her and he freaks the fuck out. It's so masterfully done. Like, God, we need another fucking Bava. Like, we need another Mario Bava in horror. Like, please. Like, please bring us another Bava fucking universe. Like, I would love that. And Carl ends up, since he saw Melissa, which pretty much means you're fucking dead, he ends up slitting his throat with, I always forget the name of this, and they use this in Twitch of the Death Nerve too, when they, I forget the guy's name, when he gets smashed in the face with the billhook machete. Pretty sure it's a billhook machete. Same thing here. He ends up slitting his throat, and the envelopes that contained all the information on Monica's, true past and everything, burnt. So useless, doesn't get that information, and Carl is dead, who we find out was in love with and had a relationship with Ruth, the witch, sorceress lady. And when she finds out that Carl's dead, and she goes on she wants revenge. Like, she's pretty much just flat out says, like, I don't even care if I die. Like, getting my revenge. Like, I will avenge Carl's death and everything. Then Monica and Paul find this family tomb, and they find Melissa's coffin, which is, I don't even know, I guess coffin, right? Like, because I'm sure of course they had wood, like in 1907, but like, it's, like the stone coffins and stuff like that. Coffin, I guess, in a tomb. So, coffin in a tomb. And we find Melissa's coffin there, and it says, 1880 to 1887. which is where we find out that she's 7. Because Carl says earlier, like, that she was 6 or 7. I don't know how he doesn't know that, like, exactly that she was 7. Like, she wasn't 6. She was indeed 7. I don't know how he doesn't know that. Maybe just slipped his mind, just everything that goes on in this village and everything that has happened. He just wasn't thinking in the moment. Or maybe she just turned 7. I don't know. That's like the only nitpick I'll fucking give here. And then they end up going, Paul and Monica, to the villa and talking with the Baroness, who gives a little exposition here that she's a medium. And basically, Melissa's ghost, well, Melissa obviously is the Baroness's daughter. And Melissa, like, uses her mother, the Baroness, being a medium, to do what she does and to curse the town and to kill all these people. And the Baroness pretty much is completely complicit in this because this was her daughter. And this town, village, when they had that drunken festival and the horses stampeded her daughter and no one helped her, she doesn't give a fuck about anybody in this village. Like, she wants them all dead. So she just lets Melissa's ghost and spirit and stuff use her as a medium to kill all her victims and everything. And it's implied that there's other spirits also, which we don't see. We hear sometimes, and even with like the captions on, it'll say from time to time like spirits moaning and groaning or whatever. So there's multiple spirits. And I'm assuming that because she mentions that everyone who lived in the house in the villa died because of Melissa. So were all of them buried? Are those included in the 10 who Carl mentioned that died since Melissa? Or were these other victims that died in the villa and they weren't buried with the talisman in their heart, the silver coin, and they ended up being spirits too? But we never see them. Melissa's the only ghost that we see in this movie. So I don't know. That's interesting to think about. And then we have Melissa's room that the Baroness brings Paul and Monica into. And what a fucking great scene this is too, man. Like when she's going through the room and it's panning to the left and she's saying it's just like how Melissa left it, and she was very meticulous, and this was her favorite doll. And we see the doll that was on Monica's at the edge of her bed earlier in the film. And then she mentions the ball again and stuff, which is what led to her death and why we see the ball bouncing in a few scenes throughout the movie. And then it just pans from the left to the right, and then just, I don't even know if I can call it a jump scare, but fucking like as it pans to the right, there's a doll, another doll, then just Melissa sitting there, and it just pans in real quick on her. So fucking effective, so good, so creepy. Oh, I fucking love Bava so much. Who doesn't love Bava? And that's the thing we're talking like that I love about doing this channel, and I really do. Like, this is one thing I absolutely adore here, because I could talk about all the Friday the 13th and the Halloween movies and Nightmare on Elm Street, they're coming, and all the major franchises and, you know, modern movies, the last few decades, and well-known fucking masterpieces and well-known movies and franchises. But every now and then when I get to talk, like, about films like this, because not everyone is a fucking Italian horror fan, like, by a long shot. Like, I have a ton of horror fans, and I'd say maybe 20% of them are into Italian horror. Maybe. So, like, doing Bava films and Fulci to a little less extent, like Fulci and Argento, because they're kind of, I think they're a little more palatable for people who either aren't huge into Italian horror or that they're just getting into Italian horror. I feel like Argento and Fulci are a lot more accessible for some reason. I feel like Bava is a little bit more of an acquired taste, if that makes sense. If you're a Bava fan, let me know if you understand what I'm trying to say. I feel like he's a little more acquired. And like, I know fucking full well that like this video is not going to get many views compared to all my other videos. And I say all that, I don't give a fuck about views and stuff and all that shit. I say it all the time. So it doesn't matter. But that's like the fun, one of the greatest parts about doing this is just being able to talk about films like this. Films that you don't see plastered all over YouTube, plastered all over social media and stuff, with everybody talking about it, like when Halloween ends and everywhere, and Terrifier 2 this month and everything, and the big movies that's been coming out. You know, I fucking love Terrifier 2, but like, just using them as examples, like, you see them everywhere. When's the last time you saw a video on Kill Baby Kill by Mario Bava? Seriously, like, when? Like, I don't think I've seen, and trust me, I used to watch, I don't even really watch other people's channels anymore. Like, the channels I've always followed, which weren't many over the last several years. 5, 6, 7 years. Even my favorite channel that I watched religiously for the last 4, almost 5 years, I can't watch his channel anymore because I'm afraid that subconsciously, like, opinions or thoughts of his or whatever other channel is going to seep into my head, and then I'm going to fucking regurgitate that subconsciously, and I just don't like that. So it kind of sucks that I can't watch, like, other channels that, like, I used to love. The only channels I watch now are all the friends that I've made since doing this, and like all my fellow channels and stuff that we're all in this little crew, and fucking with Mike and fucking Gareth and Al and Dave, and it goes on. Fucking, like, I can watch this shit all the time because everyone just has such a different style, and just everyone's so unique, and it's great. That's another thing that's just amazing about doing this. Besides the primary reason that I started doing this for myself, for me, myself alone, and just to just have a platform to discuss my love for horror and film in general. That's like the biggest plus, is all the amazing people I've met in the last barely 6 months, 5 months since I started this channel. And I said way back when I started the channel, I said, I'm doing this for me. If I get 100 subs, 10 of them watch consistently, it's a bonus, absolute bonus. So I'm like at 240 subs almost now, 40,000 views or some shit, like, total. I more than doubled my money at this point. So I really don't give a fuck. If 100 of them dropped me tomorrow, wouldn't give a fuck in the world. Like, I really wouldn't. Just meeting all these amazing people and seeing their amazing content and their channels and being able to collaborate with them, and the biggest fucking perk out of doing this, like 100%, tied with just all you amazing people who subscribe and watch and everything, obviously. But those are the two biggest perks of doing this, next to just doing it for myself. Let's get back to and finish this fucking movie, because we're almost done here. And I just have to throw some plugs in there, as usual, for all of you fucking guys. You know who you are. I love you. Fucking, but yeah, that slow pan to Melissa and stuff is so well done. And that's just like another example of just, I want that in more movies. Like a jump scare like that. And it's not even, like I said, it's not even like a jump scare. But it's so effective. It's so creepy. It's so fucking amazing, man. I love Bava so much. I love Bava. Who doesn't love Bava? And then, not even just with the pan to her. Once it pans to her and you're kind of like, oh shit, like she's sitting there. It's not a doll like the last two that we saw. We just get the zoom in shot, the real fast zoom in right onto her one eye. And you could see fucking Fulci, like right there. Like I've mentioned in The Few, which is a crime too, that I've only covered the Gates of Hell trilogy's 3 films. Fulci's films on the channel so far. I definitely will be doing more Fulci very, very soon. But I mentioned in a few of those that it is a trademark of Fulci, with just focusing on the eyes. And not just like poking them out and stabbing them in eye gags and gore and stuff like that. Just the way he shoots scenes and dialogue. How it just always zooms in just like on people's eyes like this, and then it goes to the next person, and again it's on their eyes, and it always zooming in on the eyes, and you can see the influence from Bava in Fulci's work, like 100%. And that shot right there always makes me think, yeah, that's Fulci fucking loved that shit. Like when he saw this movie, like 100%. Awesome stuff. Then Paul sees his doppelganger, I guess. I never really got this. I guess it's just the spirits of the house that are fucking with him. And I would not be surprised if David Lynch was a huge fan of this movie, because it really is so similar to, I mean, I don't want to spoil Twin Peaks, especially the fucking finale of season 2 before the return came back 20 fucking 5 years after that. But skip forward if you like 30 seconds. But I would not be surprised if David Lynch, who again is one of my fucking favorite directors and people on the planet, saw this movie and was influenced by this scene with him seeing his doppelganger and like running in the room and his doppelganger running away, with the season 2 finale of Cooper in the Black Lodge in the Red Room, chasing after his doppelganger, chasing after him and stuff. It always reminds me of Twin Peaks when I rewatch this every year and I see that doppelganger scene. What it means, I don't know. I'm just guessing it's just the spirits that are coming through the Baroness as the medium that fuck with him, because then he just like materializes out of the villa and he ends up waking up with Ruth by his side. And then we get the reveal that Monica is Melissa's sister and the daughter of the Baroness, and that she sent her away for her to go study medicine and leave the village and stuff so Melissa wouldn't kill her. And this is fucking shocks the shit out of fucking Monica. Then we get my favorite shots in this fucking movie. Like, besides like all the shots with Melissa at the window and like all the shots of her, but the most stylistic shot in this film is when Monica's running down that spiral staircase, and just the colors, man, and the lighting with the green and the blue and fucking the yellow and just all over the fucking screen in different places, as we get a, from the top zoom down shot of her running down the spiral staircase. Then it's just such a great shot, man, when it just zooms down all the way to the bottom and it just turns black. Like, just like it hit the bottom and it's dark. Then comes right back up. Then comes back down again. Like, it looks so good. Then we get it from below. We get the camera shot from below the spiral staircase as she's running down the staircase and the camera's spinning like this from below. And it's fucking amazing. It's absolutely masterful. Like, what a fucking amazing few shots that is. Like, absolutely excellent shit. And then the ball bouncing down the stairs too during that shot, with Melissa's ball bouncing down the stairs as it's twirling from below and stuff, and then from above. Like, looks so fucking good. Then Monica finds her own coffin, which I never understood this. I'm guessing that either it was planned, that Melissa, like, it was always kind of like destined that Melissa was gonna eventually kill her sister Monica if she stayed in the village, and they just had a coffin for Monica for when that happened, because it's not that she's like a ghost the whole time and she's dead and shit. Like, that's not what it is at all. So I don't really know what that means. So if anyone has an explanation for that, I'd love to hear it, because I never could put a finger on that. The fact that she sees her own grave in the tomb. So I don't know what that means. I would love to hear someone's thoughts. Then Ruth goes to the Baroness to avenge Carl's death, and they both kill each other when the Baroness ends up stabbing Ruth in the chest with a fireplace poker, and in her last few gasps of life, she ends up strangling the Baroness to death. And Paul meets back up with Monica, and they walk off into the distance with the sun shining and stuff. What a fucking masterpiece, man. Like, I don't even know why I say near masterpiece. This movie's a fucking masterpiece. Like, it really is. Like, 100%. And yeah, this was long. This is fucking like 50 minutes. But that's what's gonna happen every now and then. And people who've been following for a while, you know that. Like, there's two types of videos, like I said at the beginning of this video. Well, part one, because I'm not editing this shit together. I always knew it, that there would be two types of videos on this channel. One are going to be completely serious, just talking about masterful fucking filmmaking. Just my video on The Thing, my video on Suspiria, my video on John Carpenter's Halloween. And all of those are the ones that hit the fucking hour mark. Because how can you talk any less for them? Like, there's so much to talk about. There's so much to discuss. There's so much brilliance in those films that how can you not? And then the other videos are just like the ones that I can fucking joke like a fucking motherfucker and make just stupid observations. And still could be movies I absolutely adore. But I don't know. It's just, there's a difference. And like, even with my video on The Thing, I even said in that video, the same one, I had to say it in Halloween, Carpenter's Halloween, but same thing applies there. Even if there was something I can pick out, like just a nitpicky observation, or this doesn't make sense, or this is stupid and stuff like that, which there isn't in any of those two films, like at all. They're perfect. Don't you even fucking argue with me over it. I will fight you all day long on it. But I even said in the video for The Thing I did, I said, even if there is something, or was something, in that film, or Halloween, or Suspiria, anything like that, I won't even mention it, just out of respect for the fucking movie. Like, that's how serious I am on some films. And those are pretty much those handful or two films that are considered perfect. And I don't consider this perfect, but it is a masterpiece. And Bava is just a fucking cosmic wonder with everything he's done in his career. So, long video, at least it's split into two parts. So, Melissa actually did some good here. She fucking fucked with my camera, knew that I'm a lazy sack of shit and I'm not fucking editing this shit together. So, knew that it would be two parts so people could watch the first part, go jerk off, go fucking have some coffee, go eat dinner, go fucking do something, come back another day or later in the day and watch the second part, fucking if it's too long for you. So, Mario Bava's Kill Baby Kill, absolutely fucking phenomenal. And the fun part about all this is the fact that I get to go from this, and now I got to go and watch Wishmaster 3 and 4. You gotta love it. You gotta love horror YouTubing. Nothing like it. Alright guys, wherever you're from, hope you have a great night, great day, and I will talk to you guys soon.